at my family, and I'm the last of six, and I said, I'm going to be a pro wrestler. I'm going to take Bruno's spot. I'm going to take his place. It didn't exactly work out like that.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm going to be a pro wrestler at the age of 14. And, you know, a couple of years later in 83, I was at the New Haven Coliseum in Connecticut with my parents and a couple of my brothers and sisters. And this referee got into the ring. And my father stood up and said, "Hey, Tony, Tony." And he turned around and he said, "Hey, Ralph, Gloria, how you doing?" I said, "You know that guy?" Because we went to grammar school with him. That's Tony Altomar. That's the Stanford Stomper. You know.
Wow.
So I went back to New Haven the following month. And he came walking in, and I said, "Mr. Altomar, Mr. Altomar." He goes, "Yeah, kid." I go, "I want to be a pro wrestler." I said, "What's your last name?" I told him my last name. He goes, your mother and father, Ralph and Gloria?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, go stay in school. Get out of here. I said, "No, wait, Mr. Altomar, I want to be a wrestler." He goes, "No." So then I went to the Hartford Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut, and I saw him there, and he said, You got a problem up here, kid?" I said, "No. Now, I know your parents. This business is not for you. Go to school, go to college, and forget about this." I said, "No, I want to be a wrestler." So then I followed him again, and I did the same thing. And he goes, "I'll tell you what, next New Haven, come here at 3:00. So I went there at 3:00, and Mr. Fuji was there. And I went through the mill. It was like Fuji like tortured me. My face was all messed up. I took a layer of skin off my face, and so I got out of the ring, and I was pretty beat up. And you know, Altomar looked at me, and he goes, you know, he talked like Mickey, he didn't look a thing like him, like in Rocky. He goes, "You want to be a wrestler?" I go, "When can I come back?" And he said, "I'll tell you what. I'm opening up a wrestling school in October." He goes, "What are you going to be in October when the school year starts?" I go, "A senior." He goes, "All right, be there the first Saturday in October, and we'll see what happens." So I went there the first Saturday in October, and and I went in the ring, and I said, "Okay, how much?" And he said $3,000. Okay. So I go home, and I have a brother that's 13 years older than me and one that's 12. Unfortunately, the one that was 13 years older than me has passed away, but my brother Bob is still here. So my brother Bob says to me when I got home, he goes, how'd it go?" I said, "Oh, it went well." He said, how'd you feel?" I said, "I felt great." He goes, "So you going to do it?" I go, "Yeah, next year." So he goes, "Why?" I said, "It's $3,000. I got to work and save the money." So Sunday came, and Tony was having another class on Sunday, and he said, "Come on, we're going down there." My brother made a lot of money, so we went down there. I go, "Why?" He goes, "Come on, let's follow me." I go, "Why can't we go in one car?" He goes, "Follow me." I go, "Okay." So we go to Pastorello's Quest in Orange, Connecticut, and we walk in there. And I stood at the front desk. He walked up to Tony Altomar, gave an envelope with $3,000.
Wow.
And he said, "You better not kill my brother." And he walked out, and he looked at me. He goes, "Give it everything you got." And Tony Altomar looked at me and said, "Get in the ring." And I went to wrestling school from October of 83 to July 31st of 84. The funny part about it is Tony worked for then Titan Sports, and he worked in the office. So January of 84, and I tell this story in every podcast because I don't think I'll ever have that eerie feeling again for the rest of my life. I was messing around on YouTube one time, and I decided to look at the birth of Hulkamania. And all of a sudden, the Sheik gets thrown out of the ring because he tried to attack Hogan after the match, and he throws him out. And all of a sudden, you see me in this 1977 leisure suit with my armor on the Sheik. And I went, I was there. That was 7 months before I broke in. And I had goosebumps. I said, and I have a great memory, man.
Yeah.
I was there. So I remember now when I was in class on Sunday morning, Tony looking at me said, "You want to take a ride to the garden tomorrow?" So I went with him to the garden. I was also there for the war to settle the score, holding back Piper. So the true story is myself, AJ Petrucci, Dave Barbie, and Seth Cohen, who worked as Robbie Parliament. We all went to Poughkeepsie on July 31st. And Tony had told us during the entire time of wrestling school that we're friends and we're sparring. But when we turn pro, we really have to apply this stuff. That's
Okay.
what he said. It was 84. Kayfabe's alive and well. That's what he said. Okay. So we go to Poughkeepsie, and he just looks at us and goes, "You guys are working tonight." What? You guys are working tonight. Whoa. He goes, "Go downstairs and see Gino." I said, "Who's Gino?" He said, "Gorilla Monsoon." So we go downstairs to see Gorilla Monsoon, and he goes, "Mancini?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Sign right here." I go, "What's this?" He goes, "A contract." Sign the contract. I said, "Well, what's it say?" Well, should I have somebody read it? He goes, "Not this contract. You're going to sign it." So I signed it, and Tony took me over to meet Chief Jay Strongbow, who became my second father for 28 years. Very close to Strongbow, and he wasn't close to a lot of people. We're like father and son. So he brings me up and he says, "This is Chief Jay Strongbow." Now, June 20th, I graduated high school. June 21st, I turned 18. This is July 31st.
It's crazy, man.
So he goes, "This is Chief Jay Strongbow." So in my head, I'm going, "No shit." Yeah, because I'm
Because you
marking
knew.
out like
Yeah.
I'm marking out like crazy, right? Like, no shit. So he goes, "You listen to everything he says." And I said, what